Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I don't normally do this standing up talking to the camera thing, so you have to bear with me. In my last video I talked about the fact that I had a new car coming this week. Well, this morning at 7 AM it was delivered. You see that? That's a bit of a hint about what it is that I've got. So what is it? No, not that one. We've got this one, BMW i3S, delivered at 7 AM this morning. I haven't even sat in the driver's seat yet. I've got no idea if I fit, not test driven one of these. So I'm going to get my cameras strapped in, jump in it, and you can join me for the drive home. My first drive in an electric car on the road, and one that I've got to live with for the next 3 years and 30,000 miles. Right, first time in the i3. Genuinely 100%. I haven't sat in this chair. I just sat there to set up that camera and that one, so I did all of that from over there. I haven't sat here yet, so I need to set myself up. Seat feels quite high. I've got manual. No, it's the backrest. Okay, that's as low as it goes. Way too close to the pedals. Oh, okay, that's all right. Way too laid back now. Steering wheel. Oh, wow. That really comes out a long way. Genuinely, I'm quite nervous. I don't want to be disappointed. I chose this car blind. I originally had a Mini on order, but they wanted me to wait until September for that. And then I went and found this as a stock car. Right, I haven't turned this car on yet, so I've got no idea about the radio. I know what the display is because I've looked online. I'm familiar with all of that. One thing that's a bit of a disappointment was I ordered the i3S at some point towards the end of the production run. I think I'm going to have to go back a bit actually. Towards the end of the production run, they changed it from professional to business nav, and I was hoping this was going to be made before they made that change. But no, I've got business nav, so smaller screen. Really, who cares? Who cares? Yeah, let's go there. Okay. Small wheel, much smaller than I'm used to on my Cayman. Let's get this thing started then. 13 miles on the clock. Okay, go on the radio, go away, power off. Do I want climate control on? Yeah, I think I probably do. We'll see what that does to range. So range at the moment, this is the 42 kilowatt hour i3S. Range at the moment is showing as 147 miles. We'll see how we get on. Mission is going to be to empty that as soon as possible. I'm ready to drive off. I don't even think I need to take the handbrake off. Foot off the brake. Okay, foot on the accelerator. No. Drive. Now. Foot off the brake. Handbrake's on, touch 6 there. Oh, okay. How strange. Wow. Wow. I'll just turn the fan speed down as low as I can. Oh, yeah, the regen, very strong, very strong, very strong. Horrible stalk that springs back to the center every time. I'll talk about that in a future video. I hate it. I had it on my M140i. Right, let's just get these mirrors adjusted. Oh, that regen, that's going to take a while to get used to. And it holds. Yeah, I like that. Should have done these before I pulled away, really. That's not good, but we're here now. Okay, I can go. I may have to get rid of that armrest. I keep bashing my elbow on it. But... So something that I've never really seen mentioned before, goes without saying, and it's not, you know, something that's difficult to work out, but with electric vehicles, something you don't have to do, which I'm really looking forward to for this drive home, is you don't need to run them in, brakes and tyres accepted. The other thing though, you don't need to warm them up. So each morning I can just leather it away from my house. That's a good thing. Yeah, this is quite an alien experience. It does feel okay. From reviews, they're talking about the i3S, which has got 20-inch rims, so the sidewalls are a bit narrower. The rolling circumference is still the same as the 19s though, but with the 20-inch rims, people say that the ride is really, really busy. This just feels like a slightly firm car. It doesn't feel that busy to me, but then I have dailied a Porsche Cayman for the last year and a half, and before that a Focus RS, and before that a Fiesta ST Mark 7. So I'm used to cars that are a bit on the firmer side. Let's give it a squirt here. Ooh, ooh, yeah. Bloody hell. I don't know if you hear that, if you get the whine. I just heard a whine as it kind of just went. I'm in comfort mode at the moment, Eco Pro Plus. I believe it picks up a bit more in sport. Still says 145 miles in sport. Let's have a look. Comfort, 145 miles. Eco Pro, 145 miles. Eco Pro Plus, 164. That's not bad. So 145, including the aircon running as well. I'm going to put it in sport. Let's see what this thing feels like in sport. See if the throttle feels a bit sharper. Seats are quite comfortable. Absolutely zero in the way of any bolstering whatsoever. So I've got the Harman Kardon in here. It is a standard BMW i3S 42 kilowatt hour, no range extender. I don't think they did it with the 42 kilowatt hour. If they did, please do correct me in the comments. So it's standard. It has one option box ticked, and that's what was called the Pro Pack. So that gave me the wheels, which are completely black. They're not diamond cut. It gives me privacy glass at the back. Both of those things I could take or leave. It gives me the Harman Kardon. Now I understand that gives me like about 10-12 speakers or something versus the 2 that I believe the standard car comes with. Again, not necessarily a box I would have ticked, but this is a stock car, so I didn't really have a choice. I had a choice between this car at the numbers that work for me in this colour, which is Imperial Blue. It's got a nice flake and sparkle to it. The other option was black, which is fluid black, I think. I wasn't keen on that because it's a flat or solid colour, not metallic, I believe. And then the other one was, I think it was called Mineral Grey. I might be thinking of that from my time in my Ford Focus, which I think was Mineral Grey, but it's like a dark grey. And both the dark grey and the blue ones come with the accents around the body, the canards at the front and strips along the sill. Both of those, they're blue highlights. This one's a bit more subtle because the car's blue. They don't want that clash, so the canards and the trim down the side are silver, like a frozen silver grey colour. Okay, so I've driven what, 2-3 miles nearly, still haven't touched the brake pedal. I could really get used to this. Let's just move the seat back a little bit further. Oh, that's better. This is not, that's so bizarre, this wheel coming all the way out here and just the sense of space down here. Sit in this, and I think as a car it's probably the most comfortable I've sat in terms of visibility and everything else, and the sense that I could go a long distance in it. But of course I can't go a long distance in it. Right, I've got some dual carriageway up ahead. We're still in a 30 limit. It goes to 50, so in sport mode we'll give it a squirt and see what it's like. This seems so big. So big, yet its size on the road, I think, is like my Fiesta. Quite a small footprint. Ooh. Had to touch the brakes then. Okay, I'm doing 20 miles an hour. Let's see how quickly we gain on the car ahead. 25, put my foot down. Okay. Yeah, that's not going to get on very quickly. Back down to, not back down to 50. I only got up to 50 then, of course. I hope the audio is coming through okay. Don't have a microphone today. Normally I run a lav mic and a separate audio recorder. Just to keep it simple today, I thought I'll use the audio from the GoPro Hero 9, which is the best of my GoPros at capturing audio. And of course, inside the car, there's no engine noise to worry about. Right, let's see what this corner's like. Okay, and then we have some lights. Oh, I get to launch it. So no go on, rolling. So no creep, floor it. Wow. I got a sense that it held back then. We went over a bump and the acceleration seemed to stutter a bit. I think that's the traction control kicking in. I believe there's a dynamic traction control in there somewhere that lets you dial it back, and it lets you then have a bit of a play, and I believe have some, in quotes, controlled slides. So we'll try that at some point. I'm not going to worry about fiddling with the menu right now, but I definitely got a sense that it stuttered in its power delivery. Bloody hell. This thing's nuts. The car's made in two main parts. They refer to it as the drive module and the life module. And the drive module is basically the battery at the bottom, and then the steering and suspension assemblies at the front, and then the motor and the suspension and the drive units at the back. And that's just this really low sled-like thing, almost like a go-kart with a couple of wheels at each corner, and the motor of course, and that's made wholly out of aluminium. And you know, my Porsche suspension, a lot of the components there are made out of aluminium, but there are still steel things bolting it all together. In this, almost all of the fixings are aluminium as well, so they really went to town on taking as much weight out of this as possible. Oh, okay, we have a traffic light Grand Prix. Let's see how quickly I could disappear. Oh, we've got Mercedes behind, maybe he wants to go. Let's see what the electric power does. Yeah, so you've got the drive module, which is made out of aluminium, and then the life module, which is the bit that I'm sat in and everything that the bodywork hangs from. Wow, he's only just crossed the line. Oh, what a fun thing. Oh, come on, please. Please, 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 please. You're gonna let me in? Okay, we're in. Yeah, the life module. So this entire structure at the top, which the doors hang off of, the wings, the bonnet, the bumpers, you know, tailgate and all that, it's all carbon fibre reinforced polymer. So it's really, really light. You got to remember, back when BMW developed this car, it was 2013, and they will have been working on it through, you know, 9, 10, 11, 12. But 2013 was when it was released, and at that time, to have an electric car with any range, you needed to give it as big a battery as possible. And the battery space in this car could only hold 22 kilowatt hours, which is tiny. It had like 60 or 70 miles of range. So to make a usable car with that sort of range, they wanted to see how far they could push it. So out came the carbon fibre and the aluminium. Of course, now in the same space, battery technology has advanced so much that in the same space that originally had a 22 kilowatt hour battery, this one's got a 42 kilowatt hour battery, hence there being no range extender, because you can now go just on the pure battery that this car comes with, about the same as the original battery and range extender, which had a 647cc twin cylinder petrol driven electricity generator in the back. So there's no need for that, which saves about 120 or 130 kilos. So it's lighter still. This car, all in, as an electric vehicle with a 200-mile range, is about 1,250 kilograms. Have a look at what all the other cars that have a couple of 100-mile range weigh. There's barely a single one under a ton and a half. Most are 1,750, 1,800 kilos, if not over 2 tons. And this thing's 1,250. So this is part of the reason why I was quite happy to jump into this from the Mini. And that's because I'm never ever going to be able to say that I've owned a car that's made of carbon fibre before. This really does appeal to the closet engineer in me. Something that I saw before. I've never actually got close enough to an i3 to confirm, but I did today when I was looking around the car, and I'll show you some B-roll now. Probably didn't capture it, but these things are two-tones. You have colours around the side, and they have what they refer to as this black belt. So the bonnet's black. On this car, the S, the bits up around here are black, the tailgate's black, and there's some black detail on the front and rear bumpers. People say it's got a black roof, but it's actually not black. It's bare carbon fibre, and you have to look quite closely, but you can see the weave in the carbon fibre within it. I'll never be able to say that I've owned a car with a carbon fibre roof again. So for 3 years, yeah, this is mine to drive and enjoy. One thing I will say, if you're looking at this thinking, what? No, sell out, I thought he was a driver. I still very much am a driver. I love burning fossil fuels. I love changing gear. I love normally aspirated engines. I love bringing my Porsche out to 7,000 RPM. I did not get this car because it's an electric vehicle. I have no interest in, oh, it's got this range, it's got that, it's got this, blah, blah, blah. You won't get from me, if you follow this, experience of the public charging network, because I don't ever expect to use it in the 3 years. You saw where I was at the beginning of the video at work. I've put 3 22 kilowatt hour AC chargers on the side of that building, so every day I get to work, this will get plugged in. Every day I'll drive home, I'm going to have 160 or 170 miles of range. That's enough. Why would I need to charge it up in public if that's the case? I've got the granny charger if I need to top it up at the weekend at home, but otherwise I'm not going to be charging this on the public network. So, you know, I would appreciate a subscription or a follow. You know, do subscribe, but don't ever, wow, oh my word, the shove then at that point, that was obscene. Yeah, don't follow me if you think you're going to be able to track how the EV charging world evolves over the next 3 years, because like I said, I don't anticipate charging this car up publicly once in the 3 years and 30,000 miles that I'm going to have it. I've got the Cayman if I want to do long journeys. The only long journeys I do really are going to track days, so public charging, yeah, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But I'll give you what it's like driving an electric vehicle from the perspective of someone who just absolutely adores driving cars. And that's what it is for me. I'm not a car fan. I have no brand loyalties. I I'm not someone who clamours to get to the front of the crowd so they can say they've seen and stood up close to the latest Bugatti. I really don't care. You've got to remember I'm a member of the GRRC and I'm at Goodwood a couple of 3 times a week, so getting up close to and hearing and seeing in action some quite special exotic cars, that's not really anything that excites me. So I'm really not into cars per se. For me, it's all about the drive. So my journey in this car is going to be, as an EV, is it possible for someone that's just passionate about driving to enjoy driving and living with an EV on a daily basis? That's mainly the reason why I chose the Mini originally as my EV of choice, was that, to all intents and purposes, the Mini just drives like a Mini. It's a bit heavier than a standard Mini, about 150 kilos, but apparently it still feels like a Mini. The one that I drove felt fantastic. I can't say it felt like a Mini because I've never driven a non-EV Mini. Turns out, of course, I've ended up with something a bit lighter that's rear-wheel drive, which I'm going to love. I have seen some video of these getting obscenely out of shape. There is a shortcut you can do using the button on the instrument binnacle down there where you disable everything, and I don't mean turn traction off as far as BMW allow you. I mean you turn traction off all the way. It even disables ABS, and I have seen these at the most ridiculous angles. It's hilarious. The benefit, of course, of the skinny wheels that these come with, and that warrants a whole other video, is that you have oodles of lock. So there's almost no angle you can get to that you don't have lock to be able to recover from and come back. So when we get a wet day, I might go and explore that. That's going to be fun. So yes, this journey, it's all about EV from petrol head is the wrong way, but a driving enthusiast, someone that subscribes to the Evo school of thought, as in the magazine. On the front of the magazine, under the words Evo, it just used to say the thrill of driving, and you get that thrill of driving if you're in the right mindset. Doesn't matter what you're in. Some cars facilitate it more, you can connect with it as a driver more. Some cars are just, you know, dull and anodyne, and they're terrible. This, so far, driving position's good. It's nowhere near as firm, I don't think, as everyone makes it out to be. I've got about 4 miles until I get home. 5 miles, I think. So I'm going to get home with about 28 miles. Yeah, that's right. I will have done 14 on top of the 14 that it had. And it's, we'll say, 132 miles. I think I had 145 when we left. So driving it the way that I've been driving it, that seems pretty accurate. Oh, the light's going to go red. Go on, please, 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 please. No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. No. Oh, yay! Red lights. Such a child. I just need someone with something pokey to pull up now. Come on. I want to see how quick this goes. I want someone to pull up. Come on. Let's have someone in lane 2. Go on. Yes, yes. Oh, we got a Jeep. Yeah, see ya. I'll let him go first. I'll let him get a car length ahead. Okay, so he's going to go a car length, and then I'll floor it. Oh, here we go. It's just so easy. So for someone else at work, I've got a BMW i4 M50 on order. He has suggested when it arrives, I can have it off his hands for a day, so I can make a video and try a bit of that. I don't know what that's going to feel like. If something with 184 horsepower, metric horsepower, PS I think that is. If something like this gets away from the lights like that, what's something with 550 horsepower and 4-wheel 4-wheel drive going to do? That's going to be a fun time. So, 4 miles, 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 Okay, I think that's about it. First impressions, spot on. Liking this a lot. Liking this a huge amount. I'm going to sign off now. I'll say please give this one a thumbs up if you like it. If you want to follow me in this car, please do subscribe. It really helps me out. And thank you very, very much for watching.